And good evening. This is Gene from Listening in Radio, KB9001MWDX, KB9001SWL, KB9001SSB, and of course my ham radio call sign WN9ZWC. I'm here this evening to do a review of another XHDATA radio, and this is the XHDATA D220, and I was pleasantly surprised by this review. So we're going to take a look at her, and I'll give you the rundown.
It's special and rare. It's fragile. It needs production. We've got to teach history based not on what's in fashion, but what's important. Why the Pilgrims came here, who Jimmy Doolittle was.
So I picked up the D220 on eBay for about $19, and it came with everything that you see here, and it's operated by batteries. It's just got two AA batteries in it, which is fine. It seems to work just fine with the radio. It has a standard antenna. It's not articulated. It's just a straight telescopic that comes out. So you probably have to be a little bit careful with that. If you are backpacking or you drop it, you could bend the antenna. That has always been one of the biggest qualms that I've had with these fixed aluminum antennas. But it's only used on for shortwave. You need it for shortwave. By the way, if you do shortwave, I still recommend that you use a wire antenna. Throw a wire antenna in your pocket. You could use one for a portable and throw it in a tree. It's always going to work better that way, but this antenna does well for FM, and it still does pretty well for shortwave too. This is a pretty sensitive receiver, and that's probably the first thing I want to say about this radio is, number one, the way we judge these radios, the analog radios, especially for people who do medium wave DXing, we look for the sensitivity and selectivity of each radio. This XHDATA radio has both. It has a selectivity and it has a sensitivity. It does a really good job of isolating the stations, and that's on shortwave, FM, and AM as well. Particularly AM. I do a lot of AM DXing. This radio has two things that I really like. Actually, I'll say three things. Number one, I like the color. It comes in yellow, green, and black, if I remember right from looking at the description on eBay. But I like the yellow because, hang on, I got to get that battery compartment all the way on there. There we go. I like the yellow because it's something you could throw in a backpack. And there's another point I want to mention, that this radio, the case on it is really good. It's got a solid case on it, and you could feel confident if you threw this in a briefcase, if you threw it in your backpack or a fanny pack or however you want to carry it in your back pocket or your truck, your vehicle. And I don't think you really have to worry too much about it getting squished by other things. Of course, if you drop an anvil on it, that would squish anything. But obviously, just normal use and sticking it in a pocket of a briefcase or backpack. This is a great emergency radio, and I like the emergency yellow too. This way, if it does, you throw it in your suitcase and you're on vacation, and it's down at the bottom of your briefcase or suitcase, you're going to find it a little bit easier. I like those brighter colors, especially because I'm a little bit of an older guy and I don't see as well as I used to. But besides the color, the other two things I like is, look, it's got a headphone jack. Very important. That's just really important to me, that these radios, all radios should have headphone jacks in them so they can be used in different situations, especially where you need quiet and you want privacy when you're listening. That's just one of my pet peeves. I want a headphone jack, and this has one. The other thing is, what they did is, I really like this too, and I've always complained about radios falling over. You put a radio on one of these and you knock it over and it falls over. Well, they gave you a kickstand on this one. In fact, the kickstand has, it has a different band. The band plan on there, and it has the different bands. It tells you which band is which is really cool. And you could do this. You could take it and you could lay it down and not even worry about it falling over if you happen to bump into the damn thing. So I really like that they did that. It's a very simple radio. It's analog. It works up your simple. It has a simple. There it is. ON/OFF switch on there. You rotate, and that's your volume. And it has a simple analog control, and this is your band switch on the side right here. And you can see it says FM. FM2, what they did is they split the FM band on two places on the switch. Why? I don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough room to get it on there. But anyhow, you have to switch to FM1 and FM2, and it's just the two segments of the FM band. That's all it is. And then you have, and it doesn't say, by the way, if you look, it doesn't say AM. It says medium wave. Now that's cool. That's really cool. So they made this radio for people who understand medium wave DX, and then it's shortwave as well. So that's your band switch. This radio, I have to give it a good 5 stars. And usually I don't do that. I'm really kind of critical of a lot of radios that I do play with and I've seen, but this radio deserves a 5-star rating. It has just everything in it. I think it's a great backpack radio. I think you could take this anywhere, if you happen to live in an area where it's prone to, Tornado Alley, like where we are at here in Iowa, or if you're down, especially if you're in Florida. Boy, Florida's always having weather problems in that area. So this would be a good radio to keep in your repertoire. Keep it on your kitchen sink or by your kitchen sink or something, and then have an emergency radio and get one in yellow. Then you'll never lose it. At least that's my opinion, anyway. So okay, this is Gene from Listening in Radio, KB9001MWDX. KB9001SSB and KB9001SWL. And of course, my ham radio call sign WN9ZWC. And again, this radio was about $19 on eBay. I think it's really worth the $19. So, okay, good luck. Have a great time. Have a good Christmas. Merry Christmas, by the way. Take care.